So I have this bin of water, and this bin of water represents God's love, okay? I have this cup, and this represents me. Now, if I dip my cup in, and I can choose how much I put in my cup, right? So maybe I just want a little bit in my cup, or maybe I choose to have my cup half full, right? Far too often, this is how we receive God's love. We take our experiences, whether they're good or bad, and our limited understanding and the things that we receive in life, and we think that this is what God has for us. And we don't even mean to do it. It's like an automatic thing. We in some cases, take so much little more than what's available to us. Right? And hearing this message, maybe I can guarantee you that none of us have received the amount that we could of God's love. Right? We can choose to fill it all the way up to the top. Okay, so my cup is filled, but look how much more there still is. Just because this is all my cup can get filled up with doesn't mean that that's all that's left. Right? And even if I choose to submerge my cup, it's not the whole thing is going inside of it. When we fill our lives with God's love, it brings a greater peace, a greater joy, a greater confidence, fulfillment, wholeness. If you want this morning, then we need to start by filling ourselves up, by submerging ourselves in God's love. Right? So how do I get filled up with God's love? It's super simple. It's this. When you draw closer to Jesus, you spend more time with him, right? You would say, if you know somebody, you wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I love that person so much. I send them a text once at the end of every night. They are my everything. You'd be like, you sound dumb, right? But a lot of the time, that's what we do with God. He's my whole entire life. Let me just send him a quick message off before I go to bed. Right? So what do we have to do? We have to spend more time. If you are in a relationship with anybody, any type of relationship, you choose to spend more time with them so that you can get to know them better. And in turn, usually you grow a deeper admiration for that person. Right? We have to obey the Bible because it says that it's for our blessing. See, what happens is when you love God, you want to do the things that please him. To get filled up with his love, you start doing the things that please him, and you start getting an extra import, and you start feeling more towards him. Right? The more you talk to God as you pray, you'll get filled up with his love. The more you connect together at a local church and you talk about God and you challenge people to grow, then the more you start to grow in your faith, the more you get filled with his love. As we do all of these things, our relationship starts to grow deeper and grow stronger. But here's the key, and this is the thing that a lot of people miss, that God's love towards us is not dependent on any of these things. Right? But our capacity to receive his love becomes dependent on these things. God loves you no matter what is going on, but are you able to receive them if you're only sending off a quick text before you go to bed? They'll always be there. God's love doesn't depend on anything else. He loves you. You're before you're born, he loves you. That's it. You don't have to do anything. But in order to receive his love, that's when we have to take the steps to expand, to fill ourselves with his love, right? When you obey God, when you talk to him, when you get into church, these things help us expand our capacity to receive God's love. And we shouldn't want to live our lives with a cup that is a little bit full. We shouldn't want to, when there's so much more available, go around with a cup that's a little full or even half full. My cup's more full than yours. So, your cup could be all the way full and it's not. Right? We shouldn't want to go around life with just holding on to the little bit that we know about. We should want to be able to completely submerge ourselves in God's love. So here's how we do it. Number one, you have to ask him. And number two, you have to do the practical things that we just talked about in order to submerge yourself in God's love. Because then this sets us up to receive his love all the way up to the top. To be like the cup that's fully submerged in the water by doing these things. Right? There's still more water available, but when you do these things, when you make a conscious effort, you completely submerge yourself in God's love. And the amazing thing is about God that he is limitless, right? The more you come to him, the more you can be filled up. He has more. Just like the cup gets submerged, there's still more overflowing and surrounding it, right? So if you had a rough week and you need God's love, there's an unlimited supply for you. If you messed up this week and you need God's love, there's an unlimited supply for you, right? You don't have to, God won't reject you or talk down to you the way that other people will. God won't make you feel guilty, right? So many times we come and we say, oh, we feel guilty, so we don't come to God because the thing is that I did X, Y, Z, but that's the whole reason that you need to come to God. And we miss out on where we could be filling ourselves up with God's love when the whole reason that we're staying back is the purpose that we need to be going forward. You feel disappointed or lonely or discouraged, you need God's love. Right? If people might have been treating you badly, you need God's love. Maybe you're having a fantastic week. I guarantee you that you still need God's love. Right? People can reject us, but God never abandons us. It says he's like a friend that sticks closer than a brother. Right?